Alright, so we're going to go through placement of the Defilade HullDown civil cell. The references are an alignment, edge of pavement, and then the third, which is not seen, is a data point for location along that alignment. Alright, so we'll say OK. And we'll go through the placement. And then following the prompts, primary road center line has to be profiled. Primary road edge of pavement has to be profiled. And I'm just using a couple lines. These could be template produced graphics from a road. And then it wants a data point, so I'm going to just come over here and data point like right there. Alright, and then it went this way because of the direction of these elements, so I'm going to flip that and flip that. Alright, so that's changing the direction to get it on the correct side. And this looks good, so I'll reset and accept that civil cell. Alright, so as far as edits on this cell, basically we've got an alignment that's a part of the cell here. It's originally placed 90 degrees off of that edge of road there, or off the center line here. And basically you control this length with these values here. Now some of these, like this, the 35 and the 36.167, that's off standard drawing. I think this is variable distance, so you can modify that to control that length. And then also, if we look at the profile of this element, it's actually it's getting its kickoff grade by these two elements here. That's at 2% you see here, and then that's carrying that on down to that PI there, and then we're flat. And this is sort of like the standard says as well, right? We're flat here, and then and then I think we're actually up this 2.917 there. That can be controlled with that line there. That, like I say, like on an 8% slope, but basically what you're doing there is, or what we're doing there is 0%, and then we're offsetting that 2.917. So that could help control the vertical. Now there's a little bit more than the vertical to that right there. I think that actually gets you to right. That doesn't get you to the top of the wall. That gets you to, that's where this point right here is hitting the wall. And so if we dig a little bit deeper in there, and as far as this profile here, you can actually, if you wanted to edit that, I'd potentially, you can select it and you can change elevation, I think, right here. But you can also throw that into the table editor, right? If you wanted to add a curve to some of these VPIs, this is probably how I would edit those, right there potentially. I really think on this one down here I would actually modify that by doing this. You don't have to, but you can. But a little bit more about the vertical, how we get to the top. So I'm going to turn off construction class, and we'll come in here, and there's an element or two here. So there's a wall element, and you can see this offset right here, 3.333, and so that plus this distance here, 2.917, that's getting you to that height that's shown on the standard drawing, which I think is 6 feet 3 inches. So if you add that up, and then this offset that you see right here, that 3.333, you should get 6 feet 3 inches there. So we'll see what the profile looked on that. And again, this looks like just another offset there. Yeah, there's that 3.33. So between the two of those, that's how you're controlling the the top, right? The profile of the alignment here, right there at the end, and then this element called wall 6 there. All right, and that really basically that's just that snap there. Those lines off of that's kind of how we're getting. If we zoom in and look at this element there, that's at 18 feet there you're getting, but we're doing an intersection point there. So basically, this element's profile off of that alignment, and then we're offsetting it to get the top of the wall there. I think everything else is horizontal. You get an offset here, so to control that width. You also get an offset here to control that berm width there. You do get an element over here at 5 feet. I think maybe not. Yeah, so I think, but it looks like it's complex. But that looks like that will control that offset there. Control the radius there. All right, and then so that's pretty much it for the sail. The only other thing you may want to do, so you could potentially do some targeting here, and you very well may. So I don't know that this thing right in this area is modeled exactly like exactly like you want it right in here. It's potentially you could float this shoulder up, and you may even want to be normal slope. Right now this is just, it's a template, right? In other words, if we turn construction class back on, all that is a template out here, and actually this area right in here is just a surface template. So we've got a terrain and a surface template. So one thing I didn't mention, you can control this width of this road right there, and you can also, you can see the slope -2% off of the alignment there. That's how you're getting this area here modeled, so you can change that if needed. In other words, if you wanted this 0% back here, you could do that. It would really just be a matter of changing the profile of this element and that element. So if you want to go 0% out here, and then really everything outside of that is really just a template. I don't think you could really just delete this template once it's a part of a sail here, but you could replace it with anything you want. In other words, you could replace it with maybe just a point, and then come in, or you may replace it with 2 templates. Right now it's one template drawing a 3-to-1 slope out here, and so to me this area right here doesn't look great, but that could be fixed pretty quickly with just some template edits, some template replacements potentially, and even some parametric constraints. Right in this area, you may want to go with a much steeper slope right there, and ultimately, I think you could come in and do perform some target aliasing, and you could say grab that and target that, which would do this, but you would also have to target the existing ground as well. So ultimately you could do some targeting, but I would tinker with playing with the slope right in there as well. And you could, if you didn't like the way this thing was wrapping around, you can also change this, you can move this back to like right there. So you can do things such as that. You can delete the surface template as needed. You can't delete the linear templates, or at least the last time I checked you can't. You can grab it. You can grab it and hit delete. I think that's going to cause an error there if you do that. But you can replace, right? And you can move the start and the stop and do pretty much whatever you want to. So that's kind of how you would clean up these areas here. Alright, that's a quick summary of that sail there.